Greetings, foes and fellow fiends. Despite the turbulence the Good Ship Human Monsters podcast had to go through, I am happy to report that unlike Boeing, our doors did not fall off in mid-flight, our engines are still running at full capacity, and judging by the numbers, we are still a true crime podcast to be reckoned with. Honestly, as long as we have even a few devoted listeners, we will continue to bring you the weekly content yours and our little dark hearts desire. Now that most of the storm has blown over, I just want to say I can't thank our devoted followers enough. At one point, I almost had a panic attack before opening the social media pages we have for the podcast, but frankly, lately all I can see is tremendous support and understanding. We've always been a proudly independent podcast that came from nothing, and looking back at the more than 200 episodes we have created, it's difficult not to get emotional about all of the hard work. I would not have been able to build this passion project to the point it is now if it was not for each and every one of you who have downloaded, liked, subscribed, and reviewed. You, the listener, are why every week we do this show, and even our most brutal critics have taught us something to make the show better and better keep us on our toes. Thank you for acknowledging that we are only human and for the incredible support you continue to shine on us. Now let's get on with the story. If you were a little older like I am, you will remember a time when the only way of communication, apart from face-to-face, was a telephone in your home. You might have two if you were lucky, but we used to get our information from newspapers, encyclopedias, libraries, and so forth. We used to spend more time in the real world, and being at home used to be more of a punishment. It feels as if in the last quarter of a century, we spend more and more of our lives on a screen, and the smaller the screen seems to become, the larger the world within it has become. As kids, we used to get home, throw our book bags on the floor, and head for the door, because entertainment was outside. If someone told me that I would be able to have the answers to almost anything on a device so small I can hold it in my hands when I was a teenager, I would have laughed. But the truth is, without my phone, I am lost. Granted, if I struggle with something on my device, I have to ask someone several decades younger to help me, because the access and technology is growing so fast that it makes me feel old. The world is developing faster than I can keep up with, but I have to admit, there are some benefits. Everyone I love and care about is now just a couple of clicks away, and I don't have to go anywhere if I want to do research for something. It's allowed me to work from home, and where a video store would only be able to offer a limited choice for my twisted taste, I am now spoiled in my selection of categories of entertainment. As with everything, there is also the bad and the ugly side of this new world called the internet we have now become accustomed to. One of the very first scams was the Nigerian prince scam, which is now so well known that it's used in jokes and memes. Then there are the different lottery scams, scams where you click on a link and lose all your information, and of course the love scams, which probably is one of the reasons Dr. Phil is now a household name. 800,000 cyber attacks have been recorded in total, and on average, there is a hacker attack every 39 seconds. Over the last 21 years, from 2001 to 2021, Cybercrime has claimed at least 6.5 million victims, with an estimated loss of nearly $26 billion over the same period. Cybercrime statistics show that a minimum of 422 million individuals were impacted, according to the FBI's Internet Crime Records, with 800,944 complaints registered in 2022. Nearly 33 billion accounts will be breached in 2023, with the cost of these breaches predicted at $8 trillion. If you are like me in any way, the mere thought of having to listen to more statistics makes a thick fog cover my mind, and I start to think about what I am going to have for lunch. But in this case, I think it's important to mention this one statistic. In the USA alone, over 2,500 online pedophiles were arrested that were actively using the internet to commit their crimes. If you have kids, it's easy to get them out of your hair by giving them a device that can stream and download apps. But the truth of the matter is that predators no longer roam the parks or beaches for prey. It's as easy as going online and pretending to be someone you are not, like a teenage girl when you are a middle-aged man in reality. I know I am probably preaching to the converted, because if you are a Human Monsters fan, you would have heard many episodes about such people as Peter Scully. That was one of the most harrowing episodes, not just to research, but to write. Another series I can recommend for more information is the Hunting Warhead podcast, which will also give you a better perspective on how deep the dark web goes. But it's not just pedophiles on the net. Criminals seem to be just like you and me. I am not ashamed to admit that I am ever so slightly addicted to the internet, and especially for social media apps. Imagine a young dude with no obvious generational wealth or job description who flashes his jewelry, designer clothing, and doing it all while sitting in a car worth more than most of us make in a lifetime. I always wonder where the money comes from and when either the cops or the tax man is going to ask the same. It's the most stupid mistake many criminals make, showing their crimes on the internet. Unfortunately, since about 2016, there is another problematic feature used in the commission of crimes, which is live streaming. From kids who steal ice cream to mass murders, there is a definite rise in the crimes that are streamed in real time to the world. Audiences range from anywhere between a handful to thousands. But I believe the impact of a murder that you know you are watching in real time is the same on your psyche as if you were there in the flesh. I like to see who is doing what, and because I am an introvert, the internet feels like the best way for me to communicate. I am pretty sure most first world countries have at least a small unit that monitors the content we so love to share, because criminals just love to share their crimes on the World Wide Web. In today's episode, I will be telling you about 3 men who used the internet to commit a variety of crimes. All 3 come from not only different countries, but different continents, so please be patient when I read the names. English is my first language, and I will try my best, but certain sounds are so indicative to the tribe or the nationality that unless you were born with a tongue that can make those sounds from childhood, it's almost impossible to do it as an adult. I mean no disrespect, and I still believe their stories are worth sharing. The Vlakfontein murders. We begin our episode with a case from sunny and dysfunctional South Africa. From our previous episodes, You must have gathered by now that it's a diverse and complicated landscape with an overwhelming amount of violence. Still, the people who live there and who are just trying to give their children a reasonably good enough life, with a roof over their head and a little food in the belly, are usually salt of the earth people, despite the overwhelming crime and violence that surrounds them. Vlakfontein is a settlement about an hour outside of Johannesburg, and for the most part, the people there, although desperately poor, are just trying to raise their children to the best of their abilities. It's a community of hard-working people, but like the rest of the country, being a victim of a robbery or a rape is a daily reality. The houses are humble and for the most part tidy and as well maintained as the owner's pocket can allow. Today's crimes began with a Facebook message from a stranger to the Xhosa family, who called Vlakfontein their home. In 2018, Vlakfontein was a working-class area and the kind of place where everyone knows everyone. At 412 Ives Crescent, a family lived whose lives would be destroyed by a common con man. It's a small house with a metal gate, and there are a number of people who call it home. The occupants of the little house were Karabul, who was 13 years old, Ianda, who was 7 years old, and Sibon Gokonke, who was 3 years old. They represented all the children in the house. The adults were Amanda Mbali, who was the owner of the home, and Dudu Zile. All were related. Mbali also had a long-term boyfriend called Pieta, who lived on the property. This was one big family, sharing the house they called home. The advantage was that they could split the costs and childcare duties. In South Africa, it's not an uncommon tradition to all live in a house and support those in need with it. There was also a back room that the family rented out for extra income. Andre Casa was such a tenant at the address we are discussing. Please don't confuse it with the Xhosa surname of the family who occupied the main house. Andre's room was at the back of the property, so there was no need for him to go through the house or have interactions with the tenants. It was, however, Andre who became concerned when, especially near the end of the month and after a couple of weeks, he had not seen or heard from any of them. The children were not playing in the yard, and the normal household noises were silenced. There also seemed to be a terrible smell coming from the house that was rapidly becoming too intense to ignore. He tried not to be too worried. After all, Sibosiso Xhosa, who was a recent addition to the household, was still around and going in and out of the house. Sibosiso stayed in one of the back rooms, and Pita, the homeowner's boyfriend, was also around the property, as if all is well. Pita eventually told Andre that the women and the children went on a trip to Durban and that he had just returned from a trip to Zimbabwe. Andre also asked Simbosiso about the smell, but he told Andre that they had used poison to kill some rats. Andre was not buying it. How many rats were killed to stink up the place so badly? And where were all the people that gave the house its essence of life? In an interview with Drum magazine, one of the cousins who were not living in the house relays how she struggled to get hold of her kin. Her name was Linky, and she had received a strange message that Mbali and the rest of the family were traveling to the coast. But when she tried to call any of them back, their phones were off, and no one was answering her back. Linky was very concerned. South Africa is a dangerous country, so she goes to the home on the 29th of October 2019 to see for herself what is going on. There is no clarity about how they entered the home. Some sources say a neighbor broke in, while others say the cops gained entry to the home. Linky did have to climb over the wire fence, and once they gained entry to the house, everyone was hit with a smell so bad they immediately had to leave. It was the smell of rotten flesh, and flies were buzzing all over. PETA arrived, and the bizarre and horrifying scene is something reserved for horror movies. Two of the rooms in the house, including the main bedroom, were covered in red sand and flies. I am not telling you about a little dust that had gathered with time. High heaps of sand were in both rooms. All the belongings, like the curtains and chairs, were still in place amongst the sand that was piled feet high. In the sand, the decomposing bodies of all the children and women were buried with parts protruding. 3 victims were in one room, and 4 were buried like this in another. The victims showed signs of both blunt force trauma and sharp object penetration. Seven members of the family were murdered and then buried with sand in the house with wheelbarrow loads of sand. There are witnesses who would testify that they saw him going in and out of the house with the sand. He even asked the little kids in the neighborhood to bring him buckets of sand. Sibolsiso had also tried to use cleaning fluid and bleach to get rid of the smell by pouring it on the sand. He also bought air freshener and a product called Doom, which is used to keep flies away and kill insects. It appears that the last time any of the family members were seen was about the 18th or the 19th of October, which means that the bodies had been there for at least 10 days. Ironically, PETA had been living for at least 3 days in the home, going about his business. He never once asked about why the rooms were locked or where the terrible smell was coming from. People such as journalists and the neighbors described the smell as unbearable, and no one was able to go near the house as a result of the putrid stench. The smell lingered in the neighborhood and down the street long after the bodies had been removed. PETA was a 61-year-old man who was in a relationship with Mbali. However, Sibolsiso Igsosa was a bit of a mystery. PETA had been in a relationship with the house owner for about 15 years, but Sibolsiso was new on the scene. He had apparently contacted the family through Facebook and made the claim that he was their long-lost half-brother. The aunts knew their father lived a nomadic lifestyle to be able to provide for the family, and it was not a surprise to discover a close relative they had never heard of before. At the time of the murders, he had only been living there for 3 months. He was well liked during his short time there and claimed to be the son of a deceased uncle. He also claimed to be a doctor by profession and said that he had even worked in New York to the people of Vlakfontein. This man was a celebrity and someone to admire. Especially the children looked up to him. Vlakfontein was the kind of area where children had to give up school and ambitions to work, because to South Africa, only 33% of people work. He had also added that he had grown up in an orphanage, which gave even more hope to the poor kids with little to hope for. It did not take long before his words, dripping with honey, had him waltzing into their humble little front door, and the family embraced him as if he was their own. He did his homework on the net and knew all the extended family members' names and all the stories that had been told for generations. According to a relative who went by the name Toko, he knew every little detail about the family, and there seemed no reason to doubt that he was indeed family. He claimed his father's name was Malipa, and everyone knew Malipa had many girlfriends, so it would not be strange for this young man to be his son. He was charming, polite, and helped with the household chores. He cooked and fetched water, and by all accounts was the perfect house guest. In a country where migration for work was, and still is, part of life, the tale he told was plausible. To this day, many grandmothers raise the children as their parents go to the cities to find work. Since both men were on the scene, they were arrested quickly. Peta, who seemed to have noticed nothing wrong, and Sybil Ciso, who turned out to be a man by the name of Ernest, were taken to the police station by the 1st of November. Both appeared in front of the court on the 5th of November. The men were supposed to plea on this day, but as the poor investigation continued, people went in and out of the house and no formal protocol was followed. For instance, the day after the discovery, there are photos of people digging in the sand and beginning to clean the house. The member of the Executive Council of the police held a conference in front of the house the next day, along with community members, members of the press, and just curious onlookers. They all walked through the house, destroying any evidence that could have been collected. The charges against both men were for 7 charges of premeditated murder, and Ernest had an added 3 charges of rape. On the 12th of November, Ernest asked to be moved to another prison because he felt that Peta was a threat. They moved him and also discovered that, like Peta, he was a citizen of Zimbabwe. The court hearing will be delayed because in South Africa there is a shortage of electricity, and the power will go off randomly for hours or sometimes days, often because the stations were not maintained for the last 25 years. It will be on the 28th of November that the bombshell of what had happened will be revealed. Ernest not only claimed that he was forced by Peta to commit the crimes, but it had been years in the making. According to Ernest, he was training as a teacher when he was drugged and kidnapped and forced to go to Cape Town, where he was forced to pack narcotics. According to the con man, he was told that he had a big job to do in Johannesburg and that he was to adopt the name of Sybil Ciso Exhosa, whom he had to first befriend on Facebook. He was supposed to make out to be part of the family and then kill them. In another one of his fantastic tales, he happens to escape from his capturers, but ends up returning to the gang. He claims he met Peta in Johannesburg, and that it is the elderly man who laid out the plans to kill the family. According to our source, he was given a hammer and told to hit each victim twice on the head. He also admits that he suffocated the children, but never explains where the puncture wounds are from. He was apparently also ordered to rape all the children before killing them. Somewhere between the court records and the news reports, the truth was lost, because it's never clear if it was the children or the adult women who were raped. Regardless, it's a horrible fact in the case. No one can also agree on the timeline and when the people in the house were raped and killed. But this is South Africa, which is not known for its detailed forensic work or investigation. Ernest would put in a claim of not guilty because he said he lived in fear of his life. Of course, PETA said it was all rubbish and denied his part in the crimes. There was supposed to be a trial date on the 4th of December 2018, but apparently Ernest was sick and in hospital. Another trial date was postponed because Pieta's lawyer had a personal crisis to attend to. The case was eventually postponed to the 29th of January 2021 as a result of all the delays. On the 18th of January, Ernest decided to take the coward's way out and hung himself in his cell with his shoelaces. There were, however, reportedly several other injuries on his body. It was also a strange fact that his body had been moved to a holding cell in Cape Town, which is a good 12 hours drive away from the cell he was originally held in. There are so many different strange occurrences about his death that it's a rabbit hole far too deep to fall into. In February, PETA is back in court, but bail is denied because he is a Zimbabwean citizen, and there was the fear that he would abscond the moment he had an opportunity. In June, the National Prosecuting Committee withdrew all charges against PETA, claiming they did not have enough evidence to prosecute him. Since the main accused is dead and all the other evidence is hearsay, the prosecutor felt he had no case against the accused. Shockingly, the police claim that they have not enough DNA or any other evidence to investigate the crime further. No one seems to also know what had happened to the 7 people's autopsy reports. This, despite the fact that PETA and Ernest were in contact with each other for months before the murders. It was also suspicious that PETA had been sleeping and cooking in the house up until the bodies were discovered. Unfortunately, all that was left to link him to the murders was a confession by the deceased, which was not admissible in court. The fathers of the murdered children had to hear about the charges being dropped via news reports, and, along with the community, they were livid. They tried to protest and even held demonstrations, but in the end, it was all for naught. PETA was a free man, and this was one of the worst investigations I have ever encountered. No one was held accountable, and to this day, the status of the case remains the same. The Bosnia bodybuilder killer. Like most of the world, the only recollection I have of Bosnia-Herzegovina is the sounds and smells of gunfire as the people fought for their independence from 1992 to 1995. Granted, I was just a kid when the images of war and heavy artillery constantly shooting over not only the rural areas, but in the cities was terrifying. On April 5th, 1992, the government of Bosnia declared its independence from Yugoslavia. The creation of an independent Bosnian nation that would have a Bosnian majority was opposed by Bosnian Serbs, who launched a military campaign to secure coveted territory and, quote-unquote, cleanse Bosnia of its Muslim civilian population. There is undoubtedly a deep scar that is embedded in the souls of those who have survived a terrible and brutal war. It is usually followed by tremendous poverty, and unless you are too young to remember, the PTSD will remain with the victims of war. It is such a pity because Bosnia-Herzegovina is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. It is framed by the Alps, with a crystal clear river that runs through it. For the most part, the forests are lush and green, and the architecture that still remains is ancient, breathtaking, and Gothic, and truly a masterpiece that would have stood the test of time. In Bosnia, currently, about 3.5 million people still call it their home, and for the most part, They go about their business and try to rebuild a new democracy. But as with all countries, there is also an underbelly that is brutal and without mercy. Nerman Sulejmanovic lived in the small city of Gradaca. He and his mother were dirt poor when they had to survive the war, but Nerman was convinced he was going to make a success of his life. He began to focus heavily on bodybuilding and spent a large majority of his time in the gym. If you want to imagine the perfect bodybuilder, Nerman is your man. There was not an ounce of fat on his muscular frame and bald head. He started an Instagram profile during which he would live feed tips on diet and exercise, and the man with almost no fat on his body was always friendly and forthcoming, and he quickly gained a massive following. By the time the crimes we are about to discuss happened, he had almost a following of 10,000, and endorsements were flooding in. On social media, his entire life seemed to be on track and successful. He was married to a stunning woman, obviously lived in a glamorous flat, and had a beautiful 9-month-old baby daughter. Unfortunately, all was not what it seemed. He also worked in a gym a friend of his owned, and therefore could provide for his family and give them a comfortable lifestyle. On the 11th of August of 2023, things went in a completely different direction. Some sources say that his wife, Savona, was just sitting on the sofa unaware of what was about to happen. But another, more reputable source tells a different story. The couple was in the middle of a difficult divorce as a result of Nerman's ongoing physical abuse. Because the names are so tricky, I will be referring to his wife as Zeta. She had an elder child that was staying with relatives, but on the day in question, her 9-month-old daughter was with her in Nerman's flat. The violence had become so severe that she had applied for an order of protection. For some odd reason, the judge denied this order, and Savona and her baby had to go into hiding for a week. Sadly, after all the events that took place on that faithful day, that judge was so filled with guilt that he sunk into a deep depression and resigned and could not forgive himself. I'm not a gym bunny, but even I can tell from the numerous photos that Nerman posted that those big muscles he had did not form naturally, and that steroids must have been part of his regime. That is just my opinion. Nerman was also rumored to run with a certain gang in Bosnia, but like many details in this case, I could find no further information about his activities. I do know he had a short temper, liked to beat women, and that his Instagram following went straight to his head. His childhood was dysfunctional, with at least the first 10 years surrounded by national conflict and murmurs of war. Most of the information has been translated from Serbian, but it's unclear how Zeta ended up in her ex-husband's home. Nerman was a clever narcissist, so it would not be difficult to lure her to his home. His struggles extended far beyond the impact the war had made. He ran with gangs who smuggled guns and drugs and was an enforcer in a way. It's never been officially confirmed, but Nerman took part in big operations of organized crime from when he hit puberty. It does appear that when he became an adult, he focused on fitness and a stable home, which moved his attention away from organized crime. I believe it made him feel more in control of his life and his circumstances. Once again, I have to remind people that this is just my opinion, but Nerman must have used steroids to get the kind of body he would eventually portray on social media. It's said he used the drugs on a daily basis because his following on Instagram was growing, and he firmly believed it was due to the fact that his body was in such a fantastic shape. The more bodybuilding competitions he won, the more followers he would get on social media. Nerman ate the attention up like sweet cakes, and it made him feel like a god. His 10,000 followers only saw his best side. In real life, Nerman was a dangerous and violent abuser. He had a short temper and a long criminal history. He had, for instance, been arrested for assault and absolutely hated the police. I do believe his aggression stems from his steroid abuse, but since I only know a guy named Jim, and the mere fact of lifting weights makes me shake and sweat, don't take my word for it. As I mentioned, by the 11th of August, Nerman was already a dangerous man with paranoid delusions. He had actively been stalking his ex-wife for weeks. She was 36 years old at the time. She worked as a nurse, and her baby daughter was her pride and joy. She was not only in fear for herself, but also her baby daughter. The couple had separated, but Nerman just could not accept he was losing his family and would follow her everywhere. His violence, abuse, and anger had her living in so much fear that she could not deal with it anymore. She lived in fear that the rage would turn on their child. Nerman did not just psychologically abuse her. He beat her up on a regular basis, and when she declared that they were leaving, Nerman almost lost his mind because now he had also lost control of his abuse partner. He continued to try to find her by contacting her friends and family to find out where she was. Before the separation and even after the separation, she had to file several reports with the police about the abuse and harassment. It carried on for months, and the police were fully aware of the danger she was in, but nothing was done about it. She had visited her grandmother 5 days before her murder, and her grandmother could tell something was wrong, but she claimed that it was because the baby was not sleeping well. She did not want to worry anyone, and the following day her appeal for a protection order would be denied. As usual, on the day Nerman's followers received a notification that he had begun a live stream, instead of the normal Q&A they had come to expect, something more sinister was appearing on the screen. Nerman was not in front of the screen, being his jolly self. In the background, soft jazz was playing, but despite the music, there was an undercurrent of evil. According to the source I preferred to use, Nerman pointed the camera at a woman on a bench. She was covered in blood, and her face was swollen from what must have been hours of beatings. His ex-wife, who used to be a bombshell with long blonde hair, was now so beaten that she struggled to close her mouth from all the blood that was running out. She seemed dazed and was apparently falling in and out of consciousness. Underneath where the woman was sitting, a puddle of blood had already begun to form. She was in desperate need of medical help. To the viewers, it was incomprehensible that this was real, and that was her bleeding and battered in front of them. No matter how horrifying the scene, within minutes 12,000 people were following the live stream. As the camera lingered on her, you could hear the cries of a baby in the background. Nerman then forces her to tell the viewers why he is doing this to her. Not because he left her, but because she went to the police and he hated the police. He made her say it through broken teeth and blood pouring from her lips. He asked her why she did it, and with great difficulty, she told him she was afraid of him and for her daughter. He then moved the camera to show a pistol on the coffee table. He picked it up and turned to the audience and said, "Hey guys, you are going to see something you've never seen before. A live murder. It's a massacre." And without hesitation, he raised the gun and shot his ex-wife in her face in front of all his viewers. In the background, you can hear the baby scream even louder. 12,000 viewers saw this happen. As the life seeped out of her body, everyone could hear the death gurgle and sounds the body makes in the last stages of death. Nerman then pans the camera around to the baby and says, "Here, someone come and save the child." There was no emotion in his voice as he said these words and left his home. And with that, the broadcast ends for the first part. Since so many people were watching the live stream, the gym owner who Nerman worked for jumped quickly into action to rescue the child, who was already covered in her mother's blood. It was also a lot of the deceased's family and friends who saw at least part of the live stream. Nerman was, however, not finished yet. He took his rage to the streets. Nerman jumped into his BMW and drove the about 20 minutes into the center of town. His next victims were Jangles and Dennis Under, who were father and son. Dennis was 55 years old and his son only 27 years old. He continued randomly shooting and assaulting people as far as he went. During his rampage, he went into a shop that sold ammunition, and fortunately the clerk was clever enough to sell him blank bullets. Nerman had also wounded a woman and a police officer during his mad rush. While he was shooting and creating havoc, he continued to live stream, and the shocking part is that many of the comments were egging him on to continue his killing spree. The police were on his tail, but the bodybuilder murderer did not care. In his second live stream, he said, "I killed 2 more enemies, a father and his son." If he knew his victims are unknown, he then says, "I am not a kid to play with. She hid the child from me and called the police. Maybe I should have let her live. But now 10,000 people means I am popular." He also mentioned he skipped someone to kill, but we will never know. Nerman also claimed that these were not his first murders, and looking at his criminal record, it's easy to believe. In the end, only the 3 murders he committed could be pinned on him. After his second live stream, Nerman lifted his pistol to his head and killed himself. There's a strong indication that he would have killed himself from the beginning. So-called Facebook gangster Anthony Galeo made a rambling message on video, which he posted on the internet, before killing Brittany Southwell. He shot her. He claimed he was crazy and carried out the shooting on behalf of the Aryan Brotherhood. We will hear the video and then the police interrogation.
You know what's funny? I could go over there right now and pop a pig in the head. I could go pop a pig in the head. No lawn, no nothing for me. I don't give a fuck. I got one in the chamber right now. I have no problem. Okay, please stand on. Share with me. What's up, guys? Does someone talk to me? Alright, who wants the beef? Who wants the beef? Alright, if there's just one of you, then I'll fight you. But if there's more than one, I'll shoot. What's up? What's up? I'm f***ing crazy. Guaranteed. Guaranteed crazy.
Alright, I'm Detective Stan. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Having a rough night, I see.
Fucking horrible thing, man.
Horrible? Alright, I gotta read your rights because you're here in our custody, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I mean, don't waste my time, please.
Yeah.
I mean, give me some respect here.
Yeah.
I got a job to do. I'm asking what happened tonight.
I got fucking drunk off my ass. I don't ever drink.
Okay.
Ever. I ate a bean and cheese burrito.
From Taco Bell?
No, I went to Stark's Party Store in Michigan Center.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I got
By
it.
Philly, is that?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I did. And
Okay.
Ashley Nicole Boardman.
Okay, who's that?
The bigger girl that was in the car with me.
I don't know nothing that's going on. So I don't know names and I don't know anything like that, so.
Okay,
they call me up.
she's on felony probation.
Okay. Boardman.
Yep.
So you eat a burrito? You're with Ashley?
And my girlfriend Amber, she had nothing to do with nothing.
Amber didn't?
Amber, Sager.
Sager, S-A...
G-E-R.
G-E-R?
She had nothing to do with it.
Okay. Amber didn't?
No, nothing to do with it.
Okay.
I swear.
Alright.
Well, honestly, I was drinking. I hardly ever drink because I usually working my ass off.
How many hours you work in a week?
It's hard to say. Sometimes we work 80 hours Monday through Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and then sometimes we'll have slow weeks where my boss has got stuff to do, and
So Amber didn't have nothing to do with it?
no, Amber had nothing to do with it. She honestly said no the whole way there.
Okay.
But honestly, I don't really remember shit. Like,
Well, I'm just going to make sure your story's the same as Amber's and same as Ashley.
Right.
They're going to come here and tell me what's up.
Right. Well, Ashley is a compulsive liar.
Mm-hmm.
She's on felony probation.
Is Amber a compulsive liar?
Oh no, that's my girlfriend. I wouldn't surround myself with her like that if she was. Anyway, I mean, I don't know.
Listen, I'm going to tell you what. Been doing this a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Been doing this a minute. I can tell when somebody's trying to be evasive and all that stuff and all that happy jazz.
Yeah.
Just be honest. It's gonna look better for you being honest than to try to beat around the bush, because I'm gonna get a hold of every single person involved. I'm gonna talk to them. They're gonna lay the story out regardless.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Amber,
Why did you guys go there to do that? Up on Jefferson Street.
Okay, we went to the some tanner place on Webb Road.
On Webb Road?
Yeah, Webb. Well, for some reason I got really shit faced at a pint of UV blue.
Okay.
I probably chugged 3 Smirnoff. The yellow kind. I don't know what kind it is.
The bottles?
Yeah, they're like that big glass bottles.
Okay.
Well, I don't drink that often because I'm usually working my ass off.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom kicked me out of the house and kept my ex. No, it's been a while.
Okay.
She kicked me out of the house and let my ex live there after I paid her $100.
Mm-hmm.
Just recently, she kicked me out and let my ex live there.
Who's your ex?
Amber Uphold. I think she's still married. She lied to me. That's why we broke up.
Amber Uphold's your ex?
Yeah.
Okay. So she kicked you out and let your ex live there?
Yeah.
For $100?
Well, I paid $100 before I left.
Okay.
But I paid more since then. Nothing's on record because my mom, I trusted her.
Yeah.
Well, I finally decided to just say, screw it, I left. Went on my own. I've still been working and all that, but I have ODD, and I'm on Social Security because I do have a lot of mental problems.
Okay.
I do have anger issues. Well, I drank a little too much, and I was getting persuaded.
By who?
Ashley
Boardman. Persuaded to do what?
Well, this is how it started. My mom kicked me out. I showed up there after work, and I was like, I want to drink tonight. Well, I don't know. I just feel like I got persuaded to do something I wasn't supposed to do. We went to Lindsay's, and I paid her money, and Ashley paid her money for us to stay there till at least Sunday.
Okay.
Well, when we left...
That's tonight?
Yeah, we left, and Ashley was with her friend Misty that gave her a ride home from work from Maxable in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Well, we all got together.
Now it's you, Ashley, and Amber?
Yep.
Okay.
But before that, it was me and Amber in my car.
Okay.
Then we showed up at my dad's house.
Alright.
And I talked to my dad for a little bit, and we hung out in the garage, and we were talking to him, and how Noah was treating Ashley, and all this, and this was before I was drinking or anything.
Okay.
And I went to the store, and basically bought, what was it, a Slim Jim, a Pepsi, like one of the bigger Pepsis, and then, what else did I think 4 burritos, like one of the bean and cheese burritos.
Okay.
Like the 89-cent ones or whatever. Well, I bought those, and then I went inside, and the only reason why I went in there and bought that is so she could break my or they break my 50.
Okay.
That way I could go in there because I didn't trust Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I could give her like a $10 bill for a pint. Because what I wanted was a pint of UV blue.
Okay.
And she went and got me the pint of UV blue. I drank it. Well, I took the Pepsi that I bought, dumped it out just enough to where I could pour the whole pint in the Pepsi. So I started drinking it like that. But once I started drinking, I let Ashley drive. Because I'm not stupid. I'm not going to drink and drive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, once that happened, we ended up going to another store next to Lucky's or
What town?
Shamrocks, Jackson.
Right off Page Ave? Shamrock, Michigan Ave? Shamrock Bar is on Michigan Ave.
Yeah. Right there.
That
There's a little
Howard
store right there.
Howard Price.
Yeah. We ended up going there, and she ended up getting me a Smirnoff, her a Smirnoff, and Amber a Smirnoff. Well, I paid for it though.
Okay.
So yeah. I ended up paying for it, and anyways, Ashley went into the Tanners. It's called, what was it? Tan. On Webb Road? Or off of Webb Road?
On Webb Street?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, Webb and West Ave?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Something like that. I don't know. But, I think it was called Extreme Tanners.
Okay.
Well, she went in there. I was drinking. I continued to drink.
Okay.
And,
She was getting tan?
I think so. I don't drink again. Yeah. Well, once I went in there, or once she went in there, I was sitting in the car with Amber drinking.
Okay.
And she got out and took off and went to this house. And she said, I think Noah's staying here.
Okay. Who got out?
Huh?
You said you're drinking, she's in there, then what happens?
We pull up this house, and I'm so intoxicated. I was drinking, and basically what happened was I got out of the car, kicked the door open.
Mm-hmm.
Cause this girl.
Where was Ashley and Amber then? Still in the car?
No, Ashley got out.
With you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then basically I knocked on the door. Nobody answered. I looked through the window. I seen my ex Amber in there.
Okay.
And then
Amber
Uphold. And then
Amber Uphold's in there.
I think that's what her name is. I'm not even sure. Because when I was with her, she told me her name was Amber White. And then I found out that she was married.
Okay.
And then I was like, whatever, I left her.
Okay.
I was like, I'm not playing this shit.
Yeah.
Well, basically after that, I got out of the car. My stupid ass fucking kicked the door open.
So you kick it open, Amber goes in, or Ashley goes in with you, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Everybody goes in. Oh wait, I don't.
Ashley goes in with you.
I'm gonna have to think for a minute.
And Amber stays out in the car. They're gonna tell me. So.
Oh yeah, I know. But I don't care what Ashley has to say. I know she's a manipulative liar, so.
But I have to go based on what they said.
Well, yeah. Basically.
Do you have the gun in your hand when you go in?
I have the gun right in here.
Right in there? Okay.
Yeah.
Kick the kid out. So,
yeah.
anyways, let's back up. You kick it in, you have the gun in your waistband. You go in first?
Yeah.
Then, who's behind you? Ashley? Cordman? You said
honestly, I wasn't paying attention. I don't know. She said, all I know is Ashley said, let's go in there and see what's going on. That's exactly what she said. Let's go in there and see what's going on.
Okay.
So, basically, when I went in there, I kicked the door open. It took me 3 tries.
Okay.
Because I was drunk and, you know.
Okay.
Well, it makes me sick. Because my little bro was in there.
So your little brother Nick's in there?
No.
Noah's in there. Noah Gunther.
Yeah.
So he's in there. Who's he with?
I didn't.
I know it's hard. Let's man to man. I know you're a pretty strong little guy. I can already tell. Man to man is hard, but you need to get it out. You know, we've all made bad decisions.
Yeah, but I made it dumb.
Listen. You're going through a tough time in your life, okay? You're going through a very tough time in your life. Your mom kicks you out, okay? Things are tough. I've made bad decisions too, okay? Especially when your mom betrays you. All right? I feel like I'm wasting the apple. I've been in your shoes too, believe it or not. It's hard to say. You see Officer Detective Stan sitting here, you know, he's at our side table. But I've been in pretty dark places too in my life. Okay?
All right.
You need to get it off your chest and you'll feel much better.
When I went in that house, I didn't intend on hurting anybody. And I didn't know what I was doing because I was so intoxicated. I went on live on Facebook. I don't know, man. I fucked up. I'm a dumb idiot.
So
I should be acting older than I am.
oh, you're working your ass off. You're mature though.
I am mature, but I do dumb shit, I guess.
How old are you, 19?
19.
19-year-olds do dumb shit. That's life.
Yeah, but dude, not every 19-year-old does some stupid shit like this.
Yes, I've seen a lot more than you think.
I ain't just some Jackson piece of trash.
Oh, you're not. You're not. I can relate. I'm a country guy too, like fishing. A good old boy likes hunting.
Dude, me and my friends, all we do is fish.
You know, you made a bad choice today.
I made a really bad choice today. That's probably gonna change my life for the rest of my life.
I don't know about that.
Do you know if my brother's alright?
I don't know yet. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure out what happened up into that point. I get real.
How do you guys not know my brother's alright?
Because I get called in from home, okay? I get called in from home. They give me bits and pieces. Once I talk to you and I find out what's going on, then I'm going to go find out there. Can I tell you if your brother's okay or not once I find out? Yes, I can. Okay? So that's kind of where I'm at, okay?
Dude, my brother's my life, man. The little baby bro.
Okay. Where was he at in there?
I don't know. I didn't see him.
Okay.
Dude, I don't know what I did.
Okay, so you go in there, you have the gun, okay? You know what you did because you're telling me I made a bad choice.
I do know what I did. I kicked in the door, and that's all I remember.
Okay. And you had a gun.
Yeah, and I do remember popping a shot at the floor. That's all I remember.
Okay. Where was that in the house where you popped? Is there going to be a bullet hole? I got to go look at the scene. Make sure it matches up.
All right, I had, you know how a 9mm was 12 shots, right?
Yes.
Well, I put 12 shots in the chamber, cocked it, put another one in, so it's 13.
13 total.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think when you shot you could have hit somebody else?
Honestly, yes.
Okay. Who was that?
I wasn't aiming at anybody.
Who did you see in there?
A big dude with tattoos.
A big dude with tattoos? Is that your brother?
No. My brother's smaller than me.
Okay.
I didn't see my brother at all.
Okay.
I seen just one dude. I went downstairs, and I don't even remember what the place looked like. I went downstairs. The dude, all I seen the dude do is shut the door, and then when he shut the door, I took a shot at the door, but I did it to the left.
Okay.
When I shut the door, I shot it to the left. Because when he shut the door,
he seen you with the gun, he shut the door?
Well, at first he tried to come at me, but when he seen the gun, he took off.
Okay.
And then I shot the left side of the door, the very left side of the door, I think, or something. I wouldn't be able to know unless I've seen it. But I shot the very left side of the door, but I wasn't aiming at anybody because I could have killed everybody in the house if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a girl. And then when I kicked open the door, the girl, I think her name was Anastasia.
Anastasia?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's an Anastasia there. What's her last name? How do you know her?
Oh, I don't know her.
You don't know her?
No. It's Ashley.
Ashley?
Ashley knows who. Ashley is majorly obsessed with my little brother.
Okay. Ashley Boardman.
Well, when I got drunk, Ashley was just constantly talking. Let's go over there. Let's go over there. Let's go over there.
Okay. So let me get this right. Just listen to what you're saying is that Ashley's obsessed with Noah, right?
Oh yeah, majorly.
Noah's over there, okay, with another girl. And I'm guessing that's why Ashley wants to go over there, correct? Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, but I didn't even know where the place was located.
No, but she does.
Oh, I didn't even know how she knew.
Okay.
It was just crazy. She just said, let's see if they're there.
Okay. Well, obviously, somebody knows where they are.
Yeah.
They just don't pick a house on the city of Jackson.
Well, yeah, but I don't know how she knew. It was crazy.
Okay. So you go in there, you kick the door in. Obviously, to kick a door in, to go in, there's...
Well, I knocked first.
Okay.
I did knock.
You knocked, you kick the door in, okay, because nobody's coming to the door, right?
Well, all I heard was, oh, shit.
Okay. And who said that? Somebody from inside?
I think my ex.
So your ex, which is?
Amber, I don't know, she lied to me.
Amber Uphold?
Yeah.
Okay.
Amber Uphold, because she told me her name was Amber White, and then I figured out she was married, so I ditched her.
So she says, oh shit, you think it's your ex. You go in, okay, you said you go down the basement right away?
No, I kicked the door open.
The front door?
Yeah, I kicked the door open, and then, basically I saw Amber run downstairs, and I didn't see anybody else. So I went downstairs to talk to Amber.
Okay.
Amber tried grabbing the gun from me.
Okay.
So I went like this, like I had the gun in this hand. I pushed her off the gun just so she wouldn't have the gun, because I don't trust her. So I pushed her off the gun. And then I seen the big dude shut the door. I didn't know if he had a gun, because this Anastasia girl threatened with, I don't know, 3 different Mexican dude names. Well, when she threatened me with them names, I figured that dude was the dude that she threatened me with. So I didn't know if he had a gun or not. But
why did we take a shot around the left? You said you took a shot into the door. Why did we do that?
Ignorance.
Ignorance?
Pure
Were you
ignorance.
trying to scare somebody?
Dude, I fucked up, dude. I'm probably gonna go for fucking 20 years or something.
No.
I mean, even if I did, you know, I do care, but you know, I probably deserve it, dude.
Nobody's dead or anything like that. Okay?
Alright.
So, felonious?
Felonious assault?
Probably.
Of our... When I was 16 years old, I got that.
Well, that's your 16-year-old stuff goes away. Okay?
I don't know, dude.
I just need to know the truth, because I'm getting bits and
Well,
pieces.
no, I mean, I'm giving you the truth. I'm not lying to you. I wouldn't bullshit.
So after you take the shot into the door of the bedroom, okay, you don't know if you hit anybody, right?
Oh, no, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Did anybody scream? Did anybody holler like they sound like they got hit?
No.
Okay, did you see anybody hit?
No.
Okay, and you said Ashley's in there with you. Ashley Boardman. So they all came.
I was only paying attention to me.
To you.
But I think Ashley was right behind me.
Okay.
Right behind me.
Okay.
My girlfriend, I think, stayed in the car.
Okay. So you go in there, take a shot, you're not sure if you hit anybody. How many times did you shoot inside there? So I'm going to find the casings, that's why I asked.
Oh, yeah, I know you guys are figure it all out either way, so.
That's why I'm asked.
Yeah. Probably.
Just get it off your chest. You're gonna feel a lot better.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna try to be sincere, but I really don't know. I was intoxicated, bad.
Okay.
Can you guys like find my videos that I deleted? It was all on camera.
Is that on Facebook?
Oh, it's all on camera.
Okay. You have a phone?
Yeah, you guys probably have it.
Is it in a car?
Yeah, it was in the car.
Okay. Is it an Apple, Droid, what?
No, it's an Android.
Android, do you have a password to it?
There's no password.
No password? Okay. Color is it?
Blue. It's got a blue case on it anyway. It's gray without the case.
Case. Okay. Alright, so anyways, you go in there, you followed Ashley, your ex, down the basement, okay? She opens the door, or the door's already open?
No, Ashley's not my ex.
Well, Ashley's uphold.
No, that's
Amber uphold.
Yeah.
So you follow her down there. She tries to take the gun from you?
Yeah, she tried to grab the gun from me.
And then you saw the big guy with tattoos all over him?
Yeah, and then I aimed it at him.
Okay.
And then
he shuts the door?
He shut the door.
Did you shoot back into the door?
Yeah, but when I shot, I aimed away from where he was when he shut the door. I aimed towards the left.
Okay.
Like, towards the scene.
Okay. And why were, it's still kind of fuzzy of why. Okay? Why we're kicking doors in, why we're pulling guns. Just be straight. What was it all over?
I got really f***ing drunk off my ass.
I already know that.
And Ashley egging me.
Boardman?
Yeah, egging me.
She wanted you to go over there because she is obsessed with Noah.
Obsessed, bad.
And did she tell you to take the gun with you?
No, she didn't say none of that.
Okay. So she's obsessed with Noah. She wanted you to go over there for what reason?
I don't know. We went and got alcohol, and then she just showed up there.
So who's Brittany?
Brittany?
Yes.
Brittany. I don't know any.
Southwell?
Southwell.
That lives in there?
I have no clue who that is, honestly.
Okay. And so, you go in there, you shoot, because that's the girl that got hit.
She got shot?
In the shoulder.
I don't know her.
You don't know her?
No.
So, you didn't hear her say, ow, ooh, anything like that?
No.
Anybody say anything after you shot?
No.
Okay, then you turn around and you go out the house.
Honestly, dude, I don't know.
So somebody in the house, somebody that was already in the house, gave us your name, car description, who you're with, and that's how they stopped you out on, was it?
Well, yeah, it's probably my mom.
No, I don't think it's your mom.
It could have been my dad, it could have been my brother.
So anyways, after you shoot, what happens from there? You just guys turn around and go get out?
Yeah, I got out of the house, yeah.
Okay. So is now Ashley followed behind you? Or, because you said she was standing behind you when you shot.
Honestly, dude, basically what happened is there's little visions. All I know is I did shoot. When I went down there, I shot at the basement door.
Okay.
And then I came upstairs, shot at the floor.
Okay.
And then basically after that, I don't know.
Okay. So you guys eventually get back in the car.
Yeah, I don't know who followed me. I don't know nothing. I was
So you guys get in the car, you take off. Where were you planning on going?
Oh, I was gonna grab all my money out of my safe and head to Mexico.
Because you know you messed up.
Yeah, I f***ed up, dude. I wanted to go.
Okay.
I wanted to leave.
Okay. That's what I would do too.
Well, shit.
And you gotta make an effort, right?
I don't feel good about it, dude.
So,
dude, honestly, I had the gun in my head the whole time.
Where did they stop you at? Was it what address did you have out in Columbia? Is it Wheaton?
Was it Wheaton and Silver Lake Highway?
Because I think they were waiting for you out there when they saw
Oh yeah, it was my mom snitched on me. Yeah.
Is that who it was?
Yeah.
So they stopped you. You had the gun to your head because you knew you made a mistake. So obviously you knew you shot somebody.
No, I didn't know I shot anybody.
Okay, gotcha. So you have the gun to your head.
I wasn't intending to shoot anybody either.
And when the lights came on, it probably scared the shit out of you, didn't it?
I had the gun to my head. I wanted to die.
I know, but when the patrol car lights, I'm just saying when those things come.
No, I've been arrested 7 times for no reason.
Oh, no shit.
No, dude, honestly, I don't care about my life.
'Cause I've been stopped before. I'm like, oh shit.
Well, yeah, but it sucks. But dude, I'd rather die than be in prison.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It ain't that bad.
Well, you know, if I'm going to prison, I'm joining the Aryan Brotherhood.
Yeah. Well, that helps you stay afloat in there.
Well, shit, dude. You know, I'm gonna stay with my race. I'm not gonna be talking to black people.
Usually, what happens in prison, survival technique.
Yeah.
So.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I never stopped.
I mean, I'd rather be working tree climbing and enjoying my life. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm just a dumb. I guess you can look at me as a dumb.
What was that girl saying when you said that? Were they shitting?
Baby, I love you. Please don't pull the trigger. I had the gun right up to my chin. I mean, I don't remember that much because I was intoxicated, but I do remember walking down the stairs. The big dude shutting the door. He tried to come at me first, and that's why I popped the shot. He tried to come at me first, and then once he tried to come at me, he seen that I had the gun, went back in the basement door, shut it. When he shut it, I popped a shot, like, see that door right there? I tried to pop a shot, like, right, like, in the seam, almost like.
Like the door frame?
Like the seam, just like where you couldn't hit nobody.
Okay.
Right in the seam.
Gotcha. Okay. Alright. Did you, do any drugs?
Nope.
That's cool. You know what? Roofers and tree climbers, or not tree climbers, but people that cut trees and shit, 90% of them tell me they do drugs.
Well, no, I didn't mean like that. I don't do drugs now.
Okay.
But I did. There's a guy named Brandon Harbaugh, laced my shit. I used to do meth.
When was the last time you did that?
The last time I had a minor heart attack.
Shit.
Yeah.
19?
Yeah. Well, my shit got laced with meth and heroin.
Okay.
So I did basically like a speedball.
Alright. But you're not on any drugs right now?
No. I've been clean ever since I had heart problems.
Okay.
I still have heart palpitations.
Okay. You're pretty sober right now.
Yeah.
You're talking pretty good. I can give you a PBT.
I wasn't for sure he wasn't going to do it. Only because of the fact that he thinks that me and his ex, Ashley Boardman, were sleeping together.
Okay.
But it ain't true because I was with my girlfriend Amber, and there ain't no way in hell I'm going to mess with that bitch.
So he threatened you, and that's why you guys had over it.
Well, he didn't threaten me specifically. He threatened me on my phone, on my Facebook, and I was in the shower, and so was my girlfriend Amber. So it was me and Amber in the shower. Ashley Boardman picked up, supposedly, and said that he threatened to kill all of us.
Okay.
Like, he said, we're all done, bye-bye, and then he said, bye-bye, and I'm gonna die too, basically, is what he said, like, bye-bye for me.
Okay.
I don't know, they got the messages, if they showed you or not, I don't know, but I don't really care, that's them. But, so I stayed up all night, even though I had to work in the morning. I stayed up all night, and I had my pistol by me.
Because you think you might...
Yeah, if anybody walks in the door, I'm going to shoot him in their legs. If it's my little brother, I'm not going to shoot him in his head, I'm going to shoot him in his legs. Basically, you know, because I need to protect myself.
Did you tell one of those girls that you shot somebody in the head?
Did I? No.
That's what they were telling Detective Styles. They said on the way over from the house.
I already know how you guys play your games. One said that.
Which one said
It was
that?
probably Ashley Boardman. Because she's a liar.
Okay.
And she's a manipulative liar, and that's why she's on felony probation, because she tried shooting him. She tried shooting when she was drunk, and my friend went out, we were building a fort, and we didn't know where he went, and she shot in a random direction. That's why she's on.
You guys are building a fort and she shot in a random direction?
Yeah, my buddy was gone, and we didn't know where he was. He was getting some brush because we were building lean-to because it was windy. It was under a bridge, and we had a fire. We were trying to keep the fire going, so we built a lean-to. Well, he was going to get some brush, and she shot towards a random direction. I had no clue where my friend was. He was gathering brush. Well, that's why she's on what she's on right now, is because she was shooting random shots. Well, she shot one random shot off.
Alright. So you go over there because your brother's actually threatening you, and that's why we're over there. I mean, that's what we didn't want to get to.
I didn't go over there because of shit. Ashley brought me over there, and I had no clue.
Okay.
Like, I didn't even know whose house it was. She said, "That's where I think your brother is. Go in there." So I went in there, and,
What, you guys do salon, you guys fighting?
I wasn't fighting with my brother. There was this Anastasia bitch threatening me with 3 other dudes.
Okay.
And the one dude that was in there was the one dude that she was threatening me with.
Gotcha.
Something like that. I don't know. I don't even know who was in there. But I did pop a couple shots off because she said that whoever it was going to kill me. So I was just, I don't know. I'm drunk. I don't know what I did. It was ignorant. I regret what I did. You know what? I'm going to have to do the time. I'm going to do whatever I have to do.
Anthony, are you intoxicated right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask you, man. This first...
I just blew a breathalyzer, didn't I?
Yeah.
I mean, come
It
on.
wasn't that bad. Are there any other drugs in your system, weed or anything like that?
No, I don't do. I mean, maybe possibly weed. I smoked earlier today.
Earlier today. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I regret what I did. I'll do the time. Dude, you know what? I don't care. Ashley pulled in there and said, "That's that bitch's house." Well, that bitch was threatening me with 3 dudes with Hispanic names. I have no clue who it was, but all I know is that my brother threatened me and said that we're all gonna die that night. So I kicked in that door and I was gonna kill whoever the threatened me, because I ain't gonna go down like that.
Anthony was sentenced to life in prison. This episode was written by Penny Morris. Thank you for listening to Human Monsters. Bye for now.